Hey, hi, hello y'all, how's it going? My name is Allison, this is Lavender Bunn Crochet, and welcome to a video. One of my New Year's resolutions is that I would like to try and use up the entirety of my stash of Sweet Snuggles Lite. This guy, this one right here, it is loops and threads. It's a Michael's in-house brand, Sweet Snuggles Lite. This is a really popular yarn. It has been popular for several years now, and I hate it. I do not like working with this yarn very much at all. I do not like how much it sheds. I don't like that it's not very consistent in the quality. I don't like that it's not very sturdy. There's also a relatively limited color range when it comes to this yarn, and honestly, I'm just kind of tired of having it in my stash. So today, we are going to see how much of this yarn we can use up over the next 48 hours. It is about 2:30 on Tuesday afternoon, so this video will go until about 2:30 on Thursday afternoon, and at the end of the video we will total up how much yarn we used in terms of grams. We can also try to see about converting that over to yardage, and we can take a look at everything that we've made. I will have all of the patterns that I plan on using and making down in the description of this video, so feel free to go check any of those out if you're interested. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, we're gonna keep track of exactly how much yarn that we use over the next 48 hours. I have my little scale right here. I am going to be measuring how much yarn I have before I start a project, and then after I finish a project, I'll be weighing everything in grams. And then like I said, at the end of the video, we'll total everything up in like a spreadsheet and see how much yarn I ended up using. I am going to go ahead and get started with a pattern that I usually default to making in Sweet Snuggles Lite for some reason, but I thought it would be good to kind of get the ball rolling, and that is Junimos. Junimos, if you don't know, are these little apple-shaped guys from Stardew Valley. They are little forest spirits, and they are so cute. I usually make mine out of Sweet Snuggles Lite because I really like the pastel colorways of the Sweet Snuggles Lite, and I think they translate really well to making cute Junimos. I am gonna go ahead and get started with the classic light green Junimo. This is a cake of Sweet Snuggles Lite that I had left over from like another project. So I'm gonna start with this, but I do have several more balls over on my shelf. I usually freehand these, but I can write up a pattern if you want. Anyway, let's make. Look at all this shedding. I'm gonna be honest. I finished one plushie, I finished my Junimo, and I am already so over this video. Every time I go to work with this yarn, I am just reminded of how awful it sheds and how much I don't like it. It's fine. Anyway, Junimo. Cute little guy. I might go back later and give him some blush, but I have some scrap yarn for that, so that won't count. I also will probably do it in acrylic, so, you know, won't count for the challenge. This little guy used 42 grams of yarn, 37 green and 5 black. So not very much at all, but I think honestly what I'm gonna do is make a bunch more. I might switch colors eventually, but for now I think I'm gonna keep going in the green. I think I'm gonna make like 1 or 2 more in the green maybe, and then we'll see from there, I guess. I don't know, but I would really like to get through this cake of green, which I think means like 2 more Junimos, if my math is right, roughly. So let's see if we can get through this. Yay. Perfect. And just like that, 2 more Junimos with some fuzzies. This yarn is shedding so bad and I just cannot. Also, I know about the lighter trick, but I have really like painful joints in my hands. So like using a lighter hurts, okay? And also I just like don't want to be dealing with that all the time. Anyway, I think it is time that we move on to something else. We have made 3 little green Junimos. It pretty much perfectly used up that cake of green. So we are 1 cake down. I haven't weighed this black one yet, and that is because I am going to keep working with this black. I was thinking about it. Since I'm making Junimo, the only logical thing to do now is to make a Krobus. So I'm going to make a Krobus to go with my Junimos. Once again, I have this cake of black here, but I have more, so if I need more, I'll just go grab it from my shelf over there. But I'm gonna keep watching my show and make Mr. Krobus. New color. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute, but it does have to do with Krobus. Hello, it is 9 p.m., but I have some things to show you. So I did finish little Krobus here and I glued on his little face. I love him. I have been freehanding a lot of these. I didn't really talk about this in the beginning, but when I was working on the Junimos, I decided I was actually gonna write the pattern down, so maybe I'll release that. But I decided to also write down my Krobus. So this is my little self-drafted Krobus. He is 100% no-sew, including tacking down the little point on the top of his head. And I just think he is so precious. Everybody's favorite boy. And then while I was working, I was like, you know, speaking of everybody's favorite boy, I made him in his movie theater outfit. So I made him in his little movie theater outfit when you take him to the movies. And again, this is no sew. I somehow made it where it is all crocheted together. No sewing. The only thing you do is just glue on the face, which I gotta say, not as happy with the mouth on him as I am with the mouth on the regular Krobus. I was going for more of like a game accurate mouth because it is kind of like jagged and pointy, but I think I like the cuter sort of cartoonized style of this one. But regardless, now I have 2 Krobi. 2 Krobi. The one with the hat is a little bit bigger, but like, it's because the hat adds some length. I think there are a couple things maybe in the future I want to change about this guy, but like for now, I'm really happy with him. In terms of our yarn usage so far, we have used up 268 grams of Sweet Snuggles Lite already. That is over a full solid color ball, so we are doing great. We've basically already used a ball of yarn, which is exciting. I still have plenty of the purple left and the mustard. The cake of black that I was using is getting a little thin, a little floppy. I did have to turn on the overhead light. I don't use her much, but I did have to turn that on because it was really dark in here and I couldn't really see what I was doing. It was just giving me a lot of eye strain, so I turned on the overhead light. I am really happy with our progress so far this evening. I think I am going to give myself a break for at least a little while. I don't know if I'm gonna take the rest of the night off, but I am for sure gonna go take a little break. I can feel my elbow a little bit just from crocheting a bunch, but I will be back to crochet at some point. And that is the next time I will check in with you. So I'll see you in like 2 seconds, but I don't know how long it'll be for me. Hello, good morning. Happy technically day 2 of this challenge, even though we're still in the first 24-hour period. I didn't do any more crocheting last night. I read my book and I went to bed. Actually, that's a lie. I downloaded a new game on my phone and I was just obsessed with playing the game on my phone. So I mostly did that, but I did read my book a little bit. Anyway, I am ready to pick back up where we left off. It is about 10:30 in the morning. I have had a nice big cup of coffee. It's almost empty at this point. Today I am feeling like nothing. I am feeling lazy. I do not want to be using my brain right now. I want to be playing my puzzle game and not thinking. So I have decided that today I am going to pick a project that is pretty easy and mindless, and I'm just gonna sit and crochet at least for a little while. I'm gonna make something that I can market prep, just make like an absolute ton of, and like not think about. Okay, it's been a minute because I've been looking through my pattern stash and trying to figure out what I wanna make, because like I just can't decide what I wanna make. And everything I do wanna make, I wanna make with different yarn. I have decided that I am actually going to work on a pattern test first. I am pattern testing Faela the Fairy Mouse from my friend Erica, Critter Creations by E. She is adorable. I love her and I am really excited that I got picked for the tester call. So Erica said to be as creative as you want as far as like color combinations and things like that. So I am gonna work on this pattern test. I also thought this would be a great way to use up some of my like awkwardly sized cakes and things like that. I'm gonna make a couple of these. I think they'll be great for some of my upcoming markets. After that, I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna move on to some other sort of like no-sew market preppable item, I think. I'm kind of thinking I'm just gonna sit here and like watch movies or listen to music or something. Just have a very chill day. I don't want to use my brain, at least for right now. I really don't want to use my brain. Maybe I used too much of my brain yesterday designing all of these guys. I don't know. But today, I just want to sit here. I finished my mouse. Well, actually, I've lied. I did not embroider her nose. I need to do that. Hold, please. Okay, now I've actually finished her. I didn't really look at the construction or like any of the stitches or anything before I started crocheting. I just like jumped straight into it and started working. But the body is mostly done in half double crochets, so like it looks like it's a lot, but it works up really fast, which is great. This pattern does have quite a bit of sewing, I will say, which is fine. It's not a big deal. I just said that I didn't want to do a bunch of sewing with Sweet Snuggles Lite, and then I ended up doing some sewing anyway, but it's fine. So yeah, you sew the head onto the body, the wings are both sewn on, and then the tail is sewn on. I think the tail probably could just be, you know, added with like a slip stitch into the body directly, which is probably what I'm gonna do from now on. But I think she turned out really cute. I do wish that I had picked a different pink for the nose and like the ear and the tail. I just think it's too muted. I was going for like, you know, like all pinks, but I kind of wish I had used a, you know, maybe this same shade of pink or like a hot pink or something. I am going to make a few more, I think, but I'm gonna, I think, take a break. I'm gonna brainstorm some color combinations and play my stupid little phone game for a little while and then get back to crocheting. Because like I said, I want to be playing my dumb phone game right now. I am feeling particularly unmotivated at the moment, so I'm gonna allow myself like a 30-minute break to be distracted, and then we will lock back in. Oh dear, oh dear. Just gonna take this down. Hello. It is like 3 o'clock now. So we are, I think, pretty much at like the halfway point. We are at like the 24-hour mark. And I just woke up from a nap, if you couldn't tell from my hair earlier. I am not feeling great today. So I took a little nap. I am still not feeling great, but I am gonna try and get some more work done. I think before we left off, I said I was gonna go take a break and get a snack or some lunch or something. So I did do that and then I fell asleep. But I have decided I am going to work on more Faela Mouse. Before I left for, you know, taking my little like nap / lunch break, I was kind of regretting the color choice of the like nose and the ears because I didn't think that pink was like matchy enough. I don't know. But looking at it now, I still think it's really cute. So I am going to make more of these little Faela Mouse. I've already like pre-weighed a bunch of skeins of yarn that I want to use. Well, I guess these are cakes now, but whatever. So I am ready to go. All I'm gonna do is just start crocheting. So I will move to the side because I decided I was going to put all of my yarns that I thought would make cute little mouse body colors into a like wheel spinner thing. So currently I have 14 entries. I am going to screen record and I will pop it in, you know, the corner over here or whatever. But I've decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin the wheel, I'm gonna get the color for the body of the mouse, and then I'm going to figure out the accent colors because again, brain no worky. Okay, so I've got my screen recording thing going, but I've got 14 different colors. You can see them on the right side of where the little spinny thingy is, but we are going to spin the wheel. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. All right, black heathered yarn. Let me grab that. So this is the yarn that I was talking about. It is black with like gray kind of specklies running through it. It is Chenille Home Slim in the color black tweed. I think we've got 2 options we could go with for the like ears and tail. I think we could go solid black, which would be kind of cute. Or we could go with the same pink we used earlier, this sort of blush colored pink. This is called Rose. I kind of think that's cute. And then maybe for the wings, we can do this like light gray to tie in the light gray in the yarn. I'm gonna wind this up first because this skein is a disaster. I don't know if you can tell. He has been through some trials. So I'm gonna take this up first and then weigh it. I don't even know what's going on here. Goodness. Okay, here she is. I did crochet the tail in, but I accidentally did it off center. So, you know, that's on me. But I think this one is really cute. I am going to make another mouse. So let's spin the wheel again. I took the black heathered one off, but spinning the wheel, let's see. Oh, okay, a dark brown one. All right. I do. All right. Now I do have 2 dark browns, but I'm too lazy to go get the other one, so we're using this one. Let's see. Let's do something a little different. Let's do, maybe we can do some gold, mustard sort of color with this. I think that would look nice. Maybe we can do gold for, should we do gold for the wings? Or should we go for the ears? You know what? We will do gold for the wings. And maybe we can use, let's see. I have this lighter brown color, which is apparently attached to something. I don't know what that is, but maybe we can use this for the like ears. Very like autumnal looking. Just gonna cut that off. I'll deal with that later. I've realized this texture, if I have to touch this literally any longer, I'm gonna scream, which is probably why it was like kicked under my desk, because it feels like trash. Instead, I have a new plan. I am going to do the body of the mouse in this dark brown color. And then I'm going to do the ears and the tail in the gold. And for the wings, I just threw that on the ground. And for the wings, I'm gonna use this green, like that. I think this is called agave, but I just have like a little ball of it in my bag. So this is the color palette instead. I decided I wanted some more color, so now we will crochet for real.
When do we expect Homestuck to care about realism? Furries aren't harming anyone, whether PG or NC-17. The news they face, or even the socio-political dynamics of the world.
Hey gang, so here's the deal. I've been working on the dark brown one. I made the body and I have the wings. All I have left to do is just the head and then the assembly. But I'm getting kind of hungry. My arm is starting to get a little tired, so I'm gonna go take a little break. I am gonna get a snack and we will come back and finish this guy in a little bit. But for now, I'm gonna go do some stretching. I'm gonna put my little elbow brace thing on. I gotta go get it. I think it's downstairs, but get some water, get a snack, do some stretching, play my stupid little phone game, and then we will return. Hello, good morning. Today is Thursday morning, which means that we are in the last 24 hours before our 48-hour challenge is up. It is currently about 10:30, so technically I think I still have like 4 to 4.5 hours before the challenge is over. However, I am coming on here to tell you that I'm gonna call it early on this one. My arm is so sore today. My elbow hurts really, really bad. My wrist is hurting pretty bad. And I personally just don't think it's a good idea for me to keep crocheting. I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna rest, stretch, ice, you know, all the usual stuff. But it's really important to listen to your body and do not crochet if you are hurting. As disappointing as that is, I thought we could come on here one last time, chat about how much yarn we ended up using, show off our makes, and talk about the results of the challenge. Are you ready for some statistics? I love statistics. I'm a spreadsheet girly, so get ready. First, let's show off everything that we made. We started on Tuesday with 3 little Junimos. These guys are so cute. We only ended up making the green ones, but that's okay. Next, we continued on our Stardew Valley train, and I made a regular Krobus. And then we made Krobus in his movie theater outfit. And then yesterday, which was Wednesday, we made 3 little Faela Mice as a pattern test for my friend Erica for her newest pattern. These are the 3 girlies. And after that, last night I was watching a movie and I decided to start a larger project. So I started a bat. This is the standing bat from Mom Stitchetti. I did the body, the head, and the ears, and I forgot the eyes, so I embroidered them on. I am trying to do better about embroidering eyes as well. As you can see, this is unfinished. I do not have the wings, and I will make them at a later point, but like I said, arm is hurting. So that is everything we made. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 plushies that we made over the last 2 days, which I don't think is bad. Personally, I have to say, I am not as happy at the end of this challenge as I thought I was going to be. I thought that I would have made more yarn, but I wasn't feeling great yesterday. I had a pretty bad health day, so I had to take a lot of breaks. I took a lot of naps, and now my arm is hurting, so I can't really fully finish the video out, which again is disappointing, at least to me, but you know, you have to listen to your body, so we have to be done. Now it is time to talk numbers. So I've moved over to the side over here so we can put some fun stuff on the screen. I'm gonna start by clarifying on Sweet Snuggles Lite. There are 2 different sizes. So you have the Sweet Snuggles Lite patterned ones, so like this yarn. These ones come in 200-gram balls, but regular solid colors of Sweet Snuggles Lite, like this pink here, come in 250. It's a little confusing. I did do the math for both, but just so you know. In total, on our first day of this challenge, we used 268 grams of yarn. And then on our second day, which was yesterday, we used 239 grams of yarn for a total of 507 grams of yarn used overall. And I've got to be honest, that number is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. I didn't feel like I had done that great. So 507 sounds like a great number to me. We used 2 balls of either one, depending on what calculations we're doing. If we're looking at the 250-gram balls of yarn, we pretty much exactly used 2 balls of yarn, and then, you know, we have 7 grams left over. But if we're looking at the 200 grams of yarn, which are the patterned ones, we used like 2.5. So either way, I think that's pretty good. I don't really have a preference. I just want to use up the yarn. I did also do some like quick math, just, you know, trying to see if I could work out how many meters / yards that we ended up using overall. For this one, I did go with just the 250-gram calculation. So for our total of 507 grams of yarn used, that calculates out to about 405.6 meters or 442.1 yards, which personally I think is a lot of yarn. In total, we did only end up using 1 full ball of yarn, and it was the light green that we made our Junimos with. So the cake we started with was the only one that we completely finished, but I'm still really happy across all of the different colors that we used. We somehow managed, 2 full balls of yarn, which I think is pretty great. And that's just like a final little fun thing to do. I was looking at my shelves of Sweet Snuggles Lite, and I decided to roughly estimate about how many skeins that I had and see, you know, how much total grammage that would end up coming out to. I calculated that I have probably about 30, give or take, skeins of Sweet Snuggles Lite in the 250 gram size. I took 30 and I multiplied it by 250 to get my total number of grams. That came out to 7,500. And then I took that number and I divided it by our total that we used over the last 2 days, which was 507. And we got basically 14.8, which means that I would need to do this challenge 15 more times in order to use up all of the Sweet Snuggles Lite. And since this was 2 days, 15 times 2 is 30. So it would take me about a month straight of working at this pace to clear out all of my Sweet Snuggles Lite. And that's not counting the 200 gram balls because I was lazy and didn't want to do the math on that. So yeah, a month, maybe. That's just like a rough estimate too. I don't even know if that's right. Anyway, y'all, that is going to be the end of this video. I just wanted to say a really quick thank you if you watched to the end here. I am gonna be honest, I was feeling a little disappointed in how this video went, but you know, like I said, I was feeling sick yesterday. I took a lot of naps. I wasn't really all with it. My arm is hurting today, so I can't even finish the challenge out properly. I was worried that I was going to be disappointed with the video and the outcome of the video because, you know, it wasn't turning out the way that I wanted it to. But hey, listen, sometimes that's the reality of just dealing with business stuff, is stuff does not turn out the way you want to. So if you'd like to see another one of these, let me know. If you want to see this in like a different type of yarn, also let me know. I'm more than willing to give the Sweet Snuggles Lite another try for a longer video like this. Just maybe on a time where I'm feeling a little bit better. After only working with this yarn for 48 hours, a little bit less than that, but I am so excited to crochet with something else, which is exactly what I will be doing tomorrow. Also, if you have any sort of pattern recommendations or things that you would recommend making with Sweet Snuggles Lite, preferably stuff that is no sew, because I hate sewing with this yarn, please let me know down in the comments, or feel free to like shoot me a message over on like Instagram or something. But yeah, we're gonna bust the stash. We are gonna bust the stash this year. And then I will never buy another ball of this ever again. Anyway, thank y'all so much. I hope you stay safe, and until next time, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.